And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge.
Who can come and salvage us from where we are? Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
There are POS operators. She said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on.
Back to ATN open conversation, everyone. I was just going to say blowout. Dr. Pabon Baribene, it's always an honor to have you. Good to have you once again.
Thank you so very much. Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
All right, now, if you need to run and you are wondering how you're going to follow up on this show, Atlantic Television Network got you covered. All you need to do is log on to our website to watch us live, and that's atlantictelevisionnetwork.tv. Or you can watch us live by downloading the app ATN Live, or feel free to watch us on YouTube or Facebook, and that's Atlantic Television Network. Stay with us as we get you into the trending political stories for today. Now, getting into Bayelsa State. Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, backs Governor Doyediri's second tenure bid for Bayelsa State governorship election this Saturday. He said that Diri should be encouraged to complete a second term in office because of the stability of the state, according to a statement issued on Tuesday by the Chief Press Secretary to the governor, Mr. Daniel Alabra. Jonathan spoke with the People's Democratic Party Bayelsa National Governorship Campaign Council alongside former governors of the party and National Assembly members and other stakeholders who paid him a courtesy visit at his Yenagoa residence. The former president said, "I have been in touch with our governor and I believe he should be encouraged to do his 8 years. He has been able to stabilize the state." He said, "Let us find a standard way of doing things. We cannot kill ourselves. We do not want a crisis. I thank you all for what you are doing while we struggle for leadership. We must have a country," the former president is quoted to have said. Meanwhile, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party, with 7 state governors and National Assembly members elected on the platform of PDP on Tuesday, canvassed for votes for Diri in Saturday's poll. I'm coming to you, Dr. Baribene. This conversation of he should be allowed to continue, that speaking of Diri, he should be allowed to continue, complete his second term, run for his second term, because he has stabilized his state. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is a former president,
Sure.
and deputy governor, vice president, then president, and elder statesman, widely read, travels for peace meetings and what have you. I mean, he's been in and out there. Now, the question here is, the reason why you should re-elect a sitting governor, because he has stabilized the state. Now, when you talk about stability in the state, can you help us understand what exactly he may be driving at?
Oh, thank you so very much. For Jonathan saying that he should be encouraged.
Diri should be encouraged.
Yeah, Diri should be encouraged to take his second term in office because of stability. He may have analyzed it from different perspectives. Politically, economically, security-wise, you know, sometimes a state could be peaceful, but economically to be viable. Diri is somebody, from his track record so far, we have also followed him up. It's someone that has been able to impact on the people. What I see, constructing roads to the interior of Bayelsa State, giving people access from these rural areas into the urban center. It's a very good one because in those areas where people go to do fishing and other things, they have the avenue now to see how they can transport whatever they're producing to the urban where people can buy and they make more money. So it's a good thing. I think relatively we can say that the Bayelsa State is still stable security-wise. We are not hearing of any much security issues and all that in Bayelsa State. So I think Jonathan is on the right track. And as an elder statesman, there's a saying that what a small boy will stand on a chair to look at will not see, but an elder can sit down and see. So he is seeing beyond what small persons will also see and doing the analysis too. And he's a party member. He needs to also support his own.
Is he still a member of the PDP?
Of course. He has never come out open to denounce membership of PDP. Yeah, so he's still there. It was on that platform he became what he became. You know, so there is no point he will deny or maybe come out of it. Probably for now he may not be able to come out for campaigns and other stuff. But they need to give him that honor. That's why they visited him in his residence and he said this about Diri. And Diri is somebody that is working hard from what we are seeing and from what he has also seen in Bayelsa State.
So based on road construction into the hinterlands, that's one of the reasons why
the economy is stable too.
The economy is stable.
Yeah, stable.
What aspect of the Bayelsa State economy do you think is stable?
For now, the economy, people can move freely, do business here and there. You know, trying to make ends for themselves.
In 2023, let's talk about education. In 2023, let's talk about development of the blue economy, what you call the marine economy.
Yeah,
let's talk about all of this and put it side by side and ask, what is the external attraction that is known by all and sundry? As I say, this is one of the big step taken by Diri to develop Bayelsa State in terms of human capital development, in terms of structural development of the state. Where do you, what can you relate to what we can bring to bear on why he should get into office as a second time?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, educationally the man is trying. Things about school in Bayelsa State, he's taking it seriously. He has been able to, like, for example, the few weeks ago or so, about a month ago, there were some staff of this NDU that were not paid salary and all that. He had to pay their salaries and try to reinstate them. Pensioners, he also paid them.
Is NDU
It's a state
university?
Yes,
so that's his responsibility.
Yes, yes.
So why should we commend him for doing that?
We have to commend him. That's the responsibility of government. Yeah, you have to commend him.
For doing what he's elected to do.
Yes. Some persons get there, they don't even do it. So we commend him to have done what he was elected to do. Okay,
so education, paying a lecturer school fees is part of his primary responsibility.
It's part of it.
So when, like I talk about the marine economy, for instance,
okay,
what are some of the things we can look at to say, okay, off the shelf, this is one thing that he has attracted into Bayelsa State, and that is why we should, you know, bring him.
Let me also put it on record that during his tenure, after Dixon left, the airport that this thing started, he has also sustained it. And I can assure you that now you can fly from Bayelsa to any part of the country.
Okay.
Before now, you used to come to Port Harcourt. You know, airports move to Abuja, move to Lagos, and other parts of the country. But now you can move from Bayelsa to any other parts via the airport because it's something that is sustained. I know he didn't start the project per se, but he has to sustain it to ensuring that this thing economically is viable. Because people now secure jobs in these places. And again, I also want to let us know that, look, beside that, I think he's also looking at a kind of the blue economy, for example. There is somewhere close to the Atlantic Ocean where he's also making plans to see how it can also attract investors so that that place could also boom economically. Because when you have people bringing in things to that area, or maybe a kind of seaport, it will also make the economy viable. People can also get more jobs, you know, and that's why he's also making sure these roads are created to these parts of Bayelsa so that access road can reach everywhere, so that people can begin to like see how they can feel the presence of government and governance in the state.
Okay, so still speaking on Bayelsa State, are you aware, at least that 2021, that was the last time I was in Bayelsa, that there are no taxis. You only have keke in that town. Like as a visitor, you're coming in. There are no taxis that can fly you from where you are. There you use keke, and which is the only means of transport. That's one of the things that caught my attention. And then speaking of which, I was also talking about what are some of the business attraction. You talked about the airport. I also know some persons who also have to come to Port Harcourt before they get to, from Bayelsa, before they get to wherever they are going. So I don't know how...
Maybe it's a matter of choice.
I don't know how real that is. So, generally speaking, in terms of the SME developments, which is the one that directly deals with the people economically, yes, the airport is for the elite. It's not for the man on the street who is hungry. Now, what are some of the things we can relate to say, okay, these are some of the empowerment projects he has done, apart from road construction, and you just mentioned the pushing forward in the airport. What are some of the things you can say, okay, this is what he has put in place when it comes to SMEs or improving the life of the people? Can you think of anything?
Well, I do know that there have been programs over the years, you know, carried out by the Bayelsa State government to see how they can empower the women in Bayelsa State, to make them firm, strong on their own, you know, trying to support their businesses, you know. But categorically, I cannot put through you figures now, as in this is money so far spent on these SMEs or whatever, supporting the business people in Bayelsa State. But I do know that there are programs like that he carried out over time. Apart from that, there are others who are also working with him, who have also to support his own project, ensuring that these people are also empowered economically, so that they can move on. Because what we need now is not to sit down and begin to watch. What we need now is to become economically viable as individuals. And these SMEs are also flowing. There's this market at, what do you call it? They call it Swale Market. I think there was a time he went there and tried to see how he could just like make the place okay for the business people who are there.
What would he have taken him to get these things fixed, like the market, for instance?
The market?
The one you talked about?
Yeah. I know that he went there and tried to make the place finer or make it conducive. There are some areas he had to like demolish and all that to put things in place. You know, I'm aware he's supporting businesses in Bayelsa State. And if you go to Yenegua, you also see expansion of roads and other things within the city. I remember when I got to Bayelsa in the early 2000s, it wasn't as we find it. Bayelsa wasn't like that. But you can get to Bayelsa now and see that the place is becoming lively.
So you okay, go ahead please.
Okay, you know, politics actually, as we all know, is a serious game. And when campaigns are on, like they are looking at the election that is just very close to us, it's more of buying into the minds of people. Exactly. So now, former President, Vice President, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, you know, there are people that when they stand to talk, their speech really goes a long way to begin to cause some sentiments, you know, so to say. Now, with all of what you've said, it's very encouraging, but is that to say that other contenders are not supposed to stand a chance with Diri, or you know, should it just be the sentiment that should keep the incumbent governor to run the second term?
Well, it's an election. People will contest election. You know, but what I'm trying to say is that as an individual, you have your interests. He's supporting his own party person. He's supporting because he has seen what he is doing in Bayelsa and he wants him to sustain and continue, in fact, to improve on it. That's the essence. He will say he wants him to, they should encourage him to do more. See, the thing is that we are not saying people cannot contest with him, cannot run with him. They have contestants, fine and good. But we are saying that what is it that puts you ahead of others, that the people can now say this is what they have seen that can make them come out to vote for you?
How would you know if others are not given a chance? They could actually do better than what Diri is doing currently.
Others could also do it. They could also do it. But at the moment, you see, you cannot assess someone without a comparison. At the moment, we can say Diri has done something that people can say, look, they can be that this man can still go for second term.
Right.
Others can also come in. There's no big deal. What we are saying is that what you do, some person may have had the opportunity before, they couldn't do anything, and they still want to like say, let me still go. Politics is about giving the people what they want, and they'll follow you up. That is it. You can't get into office and sit down there. Maybe you want to like empower those who are around you, so those elites want to maybe dole out money for them and leave the masses alone. These people we call the masses are those who come out to vote. As a governor, he comes out to cast his own vote. One, just one. Others will come to cast their vote and they count it and it becomes this number of, say it scores the number of votes after the election. So what they're trying to do is to see how they can garner support and get people to vote for them. Others are also trying to make things better. But the point is, if the people feel that they want to try another hand, well, it is left for them. But the track records he has also put on ground will make him, if we shall put him ahead of others. Like I said some times ago about the APC candidate, the saver, and I asked a question. I said, what did he forget in office? Yes, I did ask that question. I said, what did he forget in office? Because there is no how that a sitting governor will be in office and you will not make impact. Is it he realizing a kind of that certain things he was supposed to have done that he didn't do that he wants to come back to do? Or he wants to just clean the see, he had an opportunity as a Minister of State for Petroleum to do certain things in the state in order that when he comes back to contest an election, people can also come out to say, we'll vote for you. It's not when you become a governor alone that you can do things. You can also do things as a minister. You cannot attract development to your state as a minister. And this will also see how the people can begin to see this development you're attracting and begin to support you as a person.
All right, so let's see the next conversation here. The People's Democratic Party says it is confident that it will win the November 11 gubernatorial elections taking place in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states, as it has campaign messages for the people in the different states, while the All Progressives Congress is struggling. The PDP National Publicity Secretary, Debo Oluganaba, while speaking with journalists at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja on Tuesday, said, our candidates are standing strong with the people, and we are sure of coasting to victory on Saturday in the 3 states. The signals are all green. The APC has lost its voice, and that is why they are no longer campaigning in Kogi State. The APC is now jittery and in mortal fear of the PDP. On Bayelsa State, he said the APC candidate Timothy Silva has no fighting chance in the face of the more popular candidate of the PDP. He has no message. The APC is practically dead in Bayelsa and cannot win in any local government of the state. On the Imo State race, Ologunaba said, the message of our party and candidate is to make Imo safe again. We are set to win overwhelmingly in Imo State because of the acceptability of our candidate and party among the people. He is an accessible grassroots politician, humane, understands and connects to the suffering of the people. He has always won elections through the popular vote, and he will win on Saturday. In contrast, the candidate of the APC, Senator Hope Uzodinma, has never won any election. He has always been disconnected from the people. In this election, no matter the shenanigans by Uzodinma and APC, defeat stares them in the face. The PDP wants to state that our party and candidates are winning the Imo election, and we and the people of Imo State will never fold our hands and watch the election manipulated by anybody whatsoever. The PDP believes that the INEC chairman knows the implications of any attempt to compromise election in a state like Imo. He should heed the voice of reason and redeploy Professor Ago immediately. You know, sometimes there's an evil balance that says that, you know, when it goes wrong for someone, it's actually going wrong for you for it to go well for someone else. You know? So I wish I could just speak the balance here, but
no, but you can. Okay, but make sure you interpret it.
Standing.
I can't even. But it's just like say Adron
look at you. You know. Dr. Pablo will help you out.
But I've made it clear in the English.
Yeah.
So, but then sometimes it's you know, there's an advantage that people need to really leverage on, and I see that happening for PDP. I would like to have your take on this.
Well, in recent times, I must be very frank with you that in recent times, you see, the electorates most of the time concentrate on the candidates. They don't look at party any longer. The electorate, most of them concentrate on the candidates. So it doesn't matter the party you're flying, the party you're flying on. So what the PDP is saying, fine, if they have good candidates, sellable candidates, okay. The track record of the contestant in Imo State, I have not been following him to know his strength. But then if they feel that the man is competent enough and the man is a grassroots politician and can win the hearts of the people, fine. Like I said sometimes ago, I said, look, politics is like when you visit people who are playing drafts. Not until the game is over, they will still tell you I will win. Even when you have just one seat in front of them, they'll tell you I will win. I will win. That's how politicians speak. So, but then let's give them the benefit of that. If the candidate is good enough to say they can win. After November 11th, we'll also see. But what I keep saying is that politicians will need to see how they can buy the minds of the people by doing what is required of them. You see, vote buying has become the order of day in Nigeria because people, when they go, they come back after 4 years to come and meet with us that will cast our vote to come and give us. Most times I tell people, if you are giving the money, collect it, but vote your conscience. Yes, of course. It's our money. That money that, for example, a governor you voted into power did not do anything for you, and he's coming back to say, look, I want you to vote for me, want to vote for me, and brings money. Collect the money and do what you're supposed to do. After all, nobody will enter the ballot this with you, the polling booth. Do the needful. Your conscience should speak to you. If you don't want to collect, leave it to also do the needful. But for me, that money, you can take it and buy, do anything you want to do with it, but and can do something reasonable. If the people have that confidence in him, they can cast their vote for him. But I know that there are some candidates that can fly. Let's say, for example, we're talking about Diri of Bayelsa State. He has done something in Bayelsa. He's of the PDP. And people are saying because of what he has done, they want to vote him to go back for the next 4 years. It's okay. But for somebody who has not been a governor of a state, and you have been doing something that people have seen in the state, that they believe in you, they know you can deliver, they can, okay, let's see how can, let's try this man. Having in mind that this other person have failed them, they can now try the next person. And what I keep telling people, those who are casting or electorate should also vote and also defend their votes. Vote and defend your votes. Defending, if somebody who is not from a political godfather comes to contest an election, you can also win. Because the challenge we'll have is you don't have a godfather. In fact, if you want to contest an election, the question is, where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Can't somebody on the street just wake up and say, oh, I want to represent my people in this capacity and contest an election? So it's a very big challenge, but like they are saying, yes, let's hope that in those states where the APC is controlling and the PDP is the opposition, let's see how they can also struggle to capture it.
Okay, so when you look at the boast by Debologuna that the PDP would win, we talked about Diri of Bayelsa State, Goodluck Jonathan giving his approval for that. Okay, he should stabilize the state. Now we'll talk about Senator Anyanwu of Imo State. Senator Anyanwu of Imo State. I don't know if he has been winning election. Okay, so as what?
That's nice.
Senator Dino Melaye, the people's man, you know, anyhow you do, you throw him out, you bring him, the people loves him. But tangibly speaking, these are men that have represented their state at different capacity.
Yes.
What is one tangible thing you can say as a senator, a long-serving senator, Senator Anyanwu? This is his stand in Imo State in terms of human capital. Like one known thing you can Google and say, okay, what is this about Senator Anyanwu? Why should the people vote for him? Is it just because he's a member of the PDP and he's been winning his elections? Excuse me. We now come to Doyediri again. The issue of the airport is neither here nor there because I was trying to figure out how functional that is and all of that, because as of 2022 they said they were yet to complete the processes due to flight check and all that, but that's by the way. If you look at the Deborah's statements, it's just using the party, we are PDP, using the party umbrella to drive. Is this what anybody should go to vote for them on Saturday for? Because they are PDP, one of the biggest political parties in Nigeria. Is that what it is? Or because Senator Anyanwu has been winning election?
Well, it's not because he has been winning elections. Like I said, there must be track records. There must be track. If he has been winning elections in Imo State, there must be track records. What are those things that the people will see to say these are the things we are saying that this man can do, or he has done this, and because he has done it, he can also do this? Like I said, I've not been following him up over time to know exactly what he has been doing in Imo State.
But I'm saying that Debo should have been able to also tell us
the things that he has done.
Because he's been driving his party,
yes.
PDP.
You know, you see, there's one thing in Nigeria. Even when sometimes you come to contest an election, because of the influence of certain persons in the political party, they can always talk to people. Let's say, for example, now Jonathan has been able to speak, and those who respect him will say, he has spoken, let's toe his line. You know, he serves as kind of someone that influences the people's consciousness now. Even if he, so for example, maybe in Imo State, he goes there now to tell them, look, vote for Anyanwu. Oh, they will say, oh, he has spoken, he's our man. He's a very good man. You respect him, this is somebody that we respect, and all that. They will just like, because of that.
What do you think?
Try to see how the party can fly. Hoping that someday, sometimes, something good can come out of this person.
Okay, let me
take for example now. Somebody vouch for you, and because the person is somebody that is respected in society.
The person vouching for me, is it the one that is going to make Anyanwu, if he wins the election,
no.
ensure that Imo is safe?
No, listen to me. Somebody can vouch for you, and the person is somebody that is respected in society.
But don't you think that
can also influence somebody to believing that you...
I agree. That is why you have a good luck speaking 2 days or 3 days to the election and all of that. That is why you have the next story we're going to do, COAS and all of that. But the question here is, are we not supposed to have grown beyond this point where our electoral system has to do with one godfather influencing the mind of the voters, just like what we saw in Bayelsa, or what Debo is trying to do with the PDP as an umbrella body? Are we not supposed to have grown beyond that, considering the fact that these people still get into office, irrespective of what their political party is, and then they do what exactly they want to do?
Yeah, you're right. By now, we would have grown past that level. But the point is, as in Nigeria for now, this is where we are.
Why do you think Atiku Abubakar was not in any of the campaigns? Or is there still a chance that he could be there?
The PDP campaigns?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Some persons will tell you.
He said he's not going away. He's been accused of always running to Dubai and all of that. But he said he's not going away.
I don't know whether he's around or not.
We want to believe he is around.
You believe because he said so.
He's supposed to be the party leader. Okay. Why do you think he is not at these campaigns and all of that?
I can't say. Some reasons may be personal to him. But as a party, and you love your party, you want your party to grow, you are supposed to come out to say, look, let me support him. Even if you're not coming all the campaigns.
Dino Melaye was with him true and true.
Yes.
Rooted for him and all of that. Isn't it a bit off that we didn't see an Atiku Abubakar in Kogi State standing his ground? Maybe he might be there today, who knows? But for now, we haven't seen him. For
now, we've not seen him. But the point could also be that, as another statesman, he may see himself not going around to campaign, but he can support him from different perspectives.
It's just 3 states.
That's the point. He may also support...
Doctor, it's just 3 states.
I know.
And PDP is at the point where they need to do whatever it takes to win.
You remember, this is an off-cycle election. And they don't see themselves as being
we're talking about governorship elections.
Yes,
Wouldn't it be in favor of the PDP if they can get more states to their kids, if to ensure that they stand the better opposition in Nigeria?
They can. If they can get more states, better for them. What I'm saying that Atiku, for example, as a person, may not really feel any convenient for him to be going around. He may also have supported him, either financially or otherwise. Or also, see, some person may have...
Ideally. Shouldn't Atiku be seen as standing for his men, especially considering the state of the party with the G5 and former Governor Yeson Wike and all of that right now?
I understand your point. What I'm saying is that because you have not seen him in public does not make him... There are some persons that may also appear in public that can also cause some problems. Because
we're talking about the national leader of PDP right now.
Of PDP, yes. See, they may be there as national leaders of PDP, but their presence may not be needed. Because not everybody in Kogi will like him as a person. Even those who are in PDP may not also like him. They may like Dino. But seeing him as Atiku coming out to campaign for him may also discourage some persons.
All right.
Just like we are talking about Jonathan, talking about Derry. It will encourage some persons to see how they can vote for him because Jonathan has spoken. But some other persons who may also be behind him will come out to say, support this man. So this man is behind him, and you see some persons trying to withdraw and see how they can give support to that person because they have seen one human being that is behind him. So sometimes tactically, politically, you also apply that kind of wisdom.
Okay.
So I think he may not come out.
We are not politicians. We don't understand it. But I mean, he has spoken a few days ago.
Of movement, it has been there over time. Like you said, we should have passed that level of restricted movement. But because certain things happen in our society, it calls for restriction of movement. But the one issue I want to ask or want to raise is, will these security agencies man these places to ensuring that people don't move? Because yes, because you can all say it where you can see them, maybe the entrance to the city. Let's say, for example, Bayelsa, you can see them maybe at the entrance from Mbiama to Yenegua. You can see them there. Would they man or patrol the waterways? Because even when you want to patrol the waterways, you may not have enough personnel to go around. And this is one of the challenges we have. You can announce it, just that Nigerians sometimes we obey these orders. But if you go to certain places, there are people, the places are free for you to just walk around. But because we want to we want to elect some persons, we'll gather at a place. Restriction of movement, for example, one, it's in a way try to curtail the excesses of some persons who want to perpetrate violence. Because if, for example, you're in Bayelsa, for example, and you have water channels that can lead people into the state, if they don't condone or curtail the movement of people from entering, there could be mercenaries that could come from outside to join force with those who are within to cause mayhem. So restricting movement is ideal at the moment. Because if we are saying we should have grown beyond this, then in an ideal society where everybody sees the right thing to do and avoid violence, then fine, we can talk about that. But at the moment, because there is this expectation that some things may happen, they have to restrict. And of course, you do know that even when people move from their places to these states, of course, the businesses will shut down. So you can't tell somebody I want to go and sell in Yenegua or go and sell in Imo State or go to Kogi to go and sell. No, it's not possible. Isn't the point? It's not possible. You can't go and transact business. So you must be in your house. So those within that territory will also be around to see how they can vote. So in order that people can be safe, because you don't know where people will come from, somebody can decide to come close to your house and do some certain things and implicate you that you did certain things like this. So stay. Some people say stay your lane. So that at that point now you will not have issues to say you were at this point causing problem. Even the governor that will vote will also be in his unit and vote, cast his own vote ballot there. So restriction of movement is good. But the police should also ensure that they man these places that they need to restrict movement so that people cannot just move. Even when people claim that, it's a city station, people can just... That's my take on that, so that people will not use such opportunities to say that they can perpetrate crime.
All right. If we're looking at restriction of vehicles as a way to ensure we have better elections in Nigeria, the quick question, one big question I have in my mind is, right now, there are no elections. You're talking about conflict entrepreneur hijacking the process and all of that. We are normal. Nobody is hijacking anybody's property. It means that there's a level of normalcy, stability we have in our minds as a people.
Okay.
So during elections, when people decide to make themselves tools for destruction, and decide to hijack the electoral process as thugs or what have you, why have we not seen these people punished? Because now, they listed people on essential duties. You have the media. You have the INEC coalition officers, and I think there's the security agent officers, of course. What about medical doctors?
Of course.
What about people on the emergency situation? A pregnant woman may be due on that day, and maybe not knowing that that is the day the baby is coming. What about a sudden heart attack situation? There are so many issues, especially when it comes to the health aspect of it, that are not being considered. That is why we're asking in 2023, if indeed the reason why we shut down everything because of election, we still see police, people in police uniform or thugs. It happened in Port Harcourt. At least we saw all of that and saw a lot of videos that who do that. They still do what they want to do, for instance, because I can't remember them making provision for that in February or March, and now you
identify who did what. But because the market is shut down, those who enter there will be identified. Like you're talking about provision for health situation, maybe somebody who is pregnant and all that. Yes. These things may not be captured because you can't capture everything. There are certain things, even in the constitution, there are things that's not written there, but they are also observed. You know? But if somebody is not feeling fine, or maybe somebody is having health challenge, at the point where you get to meet the security agencies manning their this thing, you can explain to them. As a pressman, If you move from here to Bayelsa that morning, you just show your ID card. So these things can be explained. If somebody is pregnant and is in labor, it can be explained. If somebody is critically ill, maybe suddenly, so suddenly, it can be explained. But that does not mean that because we have this situation, we'll say, okay, no restriction of movement. There should be restriction of movement so that they can curtail the excesses of certain persons. Now you are saying that people are not punished. Yes. The reason being that those who are in this act are backed up by some people who are also in power. Because one thing is, if, for example, Party A is preparing for violence, Party B, who is not preparing for violence or will tell you not prepare for violence, will have a background arrangement to say if there is anything, we'll counter them. It's obvious in politics. They prepare for such a counter-attack, but they'll wait for the other opponent to attack first before they do a kind of counter-attack. But that does not mean that they are not prepared for it. They are prepared for it. But they'll also use, for example, maybe the government will use the security agencies, the police and all that to see how they can repel this attack, and all that.
Thank you very much. We'll go on the short break, and when we're back, we'll continue with the conversations we have left. Stay with us.
The oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are? Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth. The oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable
You're a human
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira.
All right, welcome back. We're still on Asian Open Conversation, and we're going straight to the next conversation. We have the Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele, who will be leading 12 other speakers, and NIDCOM boss, Abike Dabiri Erewa, and all the Nigerian diasporas, expats at the Diaspora Virtual Dialogue Forum, jointly organized by the Engage Diaspora Foundation and Nigerian Diaspora Forum, to discuss the need for to amend the 2022 Electoral Act to accommodate Nigerians in diaspora to exercise their voting rights during elections in Nigeria, while announcing the conference fixed for Sunday, November 12th, on the team, a pivotal step towards achieving diaspora voting rights. The Engage Diaspora Foundation, in a statement made to newsmen on the forum, would serve as an avenue for both lawmakers and Nigerians abroad to share ideas on best mode for diaspora voting. The statement said they will share ideas on challenges previously limited diaspora voting and other issues that had made diasporans' participation in the electoral process difficult. The foundation further said the dialogue will discuss repositioning the nation's elections towards giving Nigerians, irrespective of the locations outside of the country, the opportunity to participate during general elections by casting their votes beginning in 2027. The forum will be moderated by respected personalities including Mrs. Opeyemi Aisha Oni, Honorable Shade Adeboju, Joseph Alhaji Tunji Kadri, and Tolani Banire. The Senate noted that it was necessary to introduce diaspora voting, at least for presidential elections, to enable citizens to vote, especially those on essential service abroad, such as military, paramilitary, and other security personnel abroad, embassy staff, and other citizens. Okay, this foundation is really very interesting to have people in the diaspora actually contribute and feel the fact that they're actually Nigerians, irrespective of the fact that they're outside. So how far are we really going to go with this? Because it's really been clamored for.
Well, it's a good one. It's a good one. You see, there are certain things we need to look at in our society. A couple of hours ago, I was trying to go online and have issues. No network, very poor. In fact, I couldn't access what I was trying to access. And you're talking about doing this thing now. There should be provision, because those there will not come here to physically cast their ballots. It will be online. So what will be the measure, or what will be put in place, is how to check this, our technology. The things we will use, our network space, our internet, availability should be there. Because if we don't, there'll be a problem. If you're here now, you're talking with somebody in America or UK, you hear the person very clearly, but the person will tell you, I can't hear you. I can't hear you because you're in Nigeria. There's problem. There's a serious problem. So in as much as they want to, it's a good one, but they should look at this issue of challenge, the internet, network and all that in Nigeria. That is one thing they should also look at. Now we are saying diaspora should vote, fine and good. They are Nigerians. Let's give them the opportunity to also contribute, because recently people have been maybe making comments from outside the country and all that about our election and all this stuff. Let them also be part of it, so that tomorrow they can say they were part of either moving us forward or taking us backward. Because some person will say, leave that matter and Nigeria, let them do what they want to do. No, if they are part of it, so they can also share in the blame when the time comes. So it's a very good idea, a lofty idea, but I think the challenges that will confront the process should be addressed, so that whatever they will do before 2027 should be very, very okay for us. I thank God that the step is taking, they are taking the step now, so that before the 2027 they may have perfected the strategies to ensuring that they cast their vote smoothly.
Now, this group, this foundation, fighting to ensure that diasporan voting, particularly for the presidential election, becomes a thing. The Senate leader, Bamidele Opeyemi, and the 12 other speakers and Abike Dabir of NIDCOM, Nigerian Diaspora Commission, will be at this virtual meeting that is being held to begin this conversation. A few weeks ago in Akwa Ibom State at the 10th Assembly's retreat, this was one of the things that came out of their communique, which is ensuring that by 2027 Nigerians in diaspora can vote. Awesome, fantastic. I mean, why not, yeah? But before this virtual meeting, discussion and conversation, what exactly is on ground? How is INEC prepared for that? The election umpire should be the sine qua non of whatever that is going to be.
Yeah.
Nobody is telling, INEC is still struggling to have a Kogi Bayelsa Imo State election. They still have a DO and their own DO by 2024, thereabout. Where they've not even been able to get their head out of the swamp from the 2023 elections. And this conversation is going, where is the policy paper of direction? Where is this going to? Your foundation captions something, you're invited or you're partnering to do this. So everything has a foundation. Sure. There has to be a definition of where we're going to, how we're going to get there. Key performer index clearly defined. We know, okay, this is what needs to be. Where are all of that? You just finished a retreat where you had a communique. Less than 2 weeks into that, you're having a virtual meeting. Is this one of those things? Should we be hopeful?
Well, this is part of the things that we hear from Nigerians and Nigeria. Like sometimes ago, I mentioned the issue of INEC telling us, promising before the presidential election, promising they were going to do a kind of, you see your vote as you cast your ballot. Portal, we're going to transmit whatever, as they call it real time. Let me say real time, in real time. This is what they told us. And we are coming to this aspect now. Like I was saying, the issue of, because sometimes they will say because there was no network in where they conducted election, that's why they couldn't transmit the election electronically, and all that. It's a challenge. And as we speak, I don't think INEC has been able to roll out something that, let's see how we can mitigate this problem. But we are talking about diaspora coming to vote or voting outside the country, and we'll begin to count. Before you know, Nigerians will say, oh no, this one is not part of, this one is not part of, this one is coming from, But in advanced countries, like we are talking about restriction of movement, in advanced countries, sometimes you don't do a kind of restriction of movement because of the civility, the way people behave, how they confine themselves to what they are doing and see how they can help the society. You wouldn't find this whole thing. In fact, you don't need government to announce it. It's just that people just move out to go and cast their ballot. And if in some situations you don't have a specific day, look, within so period, you can cast your ballot. Electronically, you can do your voting. And it's counted. But Nigeria, are we prepared for it? That's one question, because even this issue of transmission of result to portal, they are still promising this off-cycle election too, they are going to do that. How sure are we that these things will be done? Because the people, I don't know, Nigeria, I don't know. We have these lofty ideas, we have this, thinking we want to do this, but how to achieve these things is a problem. Because the problem, because we don't have the facilities on ground to see how we can take care of this. Okay, INEC, you are supposed to be part of this arrangement. Tell them this is what you have on ground. This is what you don't have. If the foundation will say, okay, let's provide this to see how we can get this thing done. Way out of it, if it's possible or not. Because if they need to do that, well, those in diaspora can also vote. But when you have an election on a Saturday, for example, in Nigeria, and those in the diaspora will vote, you also know that as they cast their ballot, it's going to drop in a portal. Electronic is going to drop somewhere. They call it IREF. If theirs drop in IREF, and Nigerians' vote doesn't drop in IREF, how are you going to, do this stuff? The expectation will be that everything will be together, so that by the time you're collating, you can see. In fact, in some situations, you can, as you're doing your voting online, you're increasing the number. You can also see the results. That's the real time. As I finish my own is 10. As you come to do your own is 11. You know it's 11. This person is getting 11, so you're getting 12. And that's the real time. But in Nigeria, I don't know, because of political interest, how they want to manipulate the system to suit themselves. They may not really allow this process to work. they may not allow the process to work because they want things that will benefit them.
I actually believe strongly that Nigerians, in Nigeria, we have all it takes when when we need some certain things to be done. A guest here told us how his son was actually monitoring an election that concerned him. At the end of the day, he actually turned out. It was just online.
Online.
You understand? So we can actually get these things done. But the question is, how true are we to these policies, these intentions that we actually, bring out to the fore that, could possibly move the nation forward? How true are we to all of this? It's not because it's not just to do the talking, the action should also.
It was after like maybe 2-3 days, you started seeing whatever uploaded. I don't understand the real time and maybe 3-4 days later. They are contradictory things. But if you have in the advanced countries, for example, in the US, and you say you're voting, I said it here. I say as I finish my own vote, I'll be the number 10. As you call your number 11, you're seeing it. Like you said here, somebody said his son was monitoring election. That's how the thing was going. Because as soon as somebody voted for him, it will read. I had a friend who was contesting. In fact, he was nominated for an award. And he posted on the platform and said we should vote for him. As I did my own, backham, the number increased for him. I saw it. But we are saying that in this situation of INEC conducting election and this thing will come to play, my brother, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Because we don't have the facilities in place at the moment to see how we can handle this. And if we need to do it, these facilities must be provided to the remote areas so that we can be doing this thing at will. In fact, at a point in time, we're supposed to be in our houses to avoid this violence and all those things. Be in your room and cast your ballot, your vote. Nobody comes to your house to harass you. Who did you vote for? Your name will not appear there. What you see is the number increasing. And in real time, you are seeing the results. And you can beat your chest to say, yes, this election is free, credible.
All right. Let's look at, we can only hope that somehow, somewhere, I'll say again, the Nigerian government, you can also put your mouth, Tunji Ojo, this is where we need your expertise. Do this thing. We talked about this issue of a national database in terms of birth register and all of that earlier on the other show. I would say if we have a comprehensive national database, Nigerians in diaspora, everybody, you will just register, identify yourself by your lineage or family or something. When the election comes, you vote. We know the votes can. Anyway, we'll come back to he will still ask me if I'm a tech pro. A civil society organization called Elect Her makes case for women in politics and factors in Nigeria limiting the extent to women's development. The organization, in a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday on the forthcoming off-cycle election, Ibijoko Faborode, founder and chief executive officer of Elect Her, said there is a need for improved consideration in ensuring that women are pushed forward as candidates. She said elections produce leaders. When we don't have women playing at this level, we limit the extent to which we can grow and develop as a country. She further said the more we have surface conversations about women's participation in politics, the less and less stakeholders take it seriously. While unveiling the reports, the report to 2023 off-cycle elections evaluating gender representation before the vote, according to the report, there is little or no effort to include women's participation in subnational levels. A marked lack of emphasis on bolstering women's political engagement prevails, primarily attributed to the inadequate comprehension of the opportunity cost associated with increased women's representation in decision-making roles. The report further said, furthermore, while concerted efforts are being made by CSOs and development partners to advance women's participation at the federal level, the subnational levels receive little attention. The report indicated that there are only 3 women out of 51 candidates vying for the governorship in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa State. 51. That's huge. Can you compare that to Sarah Jubri's experience in 2011? But that's not the point. Applaudable, Elect Her is saying it's tackling it head on. The need for the women involvement in politics and the role that to play in national development. But here is the key, and I was asked this question, and until people like Elect Her and others give an answer, maybe my head will rest on that. Okay. Who is stopping the Nigerian woman from getting into elected offices? Who is stopping Laurentia Choma, for instance, seated in the studio? You guys can't see her. So, who is stopping her from buying the form, working towards that? We all went to school. We're in the same class with females. He's a male, I'm a female. We are working, we're doing the same job. Who is limiting the woman? I've always asked this question. This is 2023. Is it a man, if you're running an election now, you have your wife, is she going to leave you and vote for another person? The answer is no. So can we have a conversation and understand this idea of limiting the women when it comes to electoral offices and begin to maybe find a way to unravel the fact that women are being limited and tackle it head on? What could be the factors limiting women? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, what I would simply say about it, not all the women interested in politics. The few that are interested in politics want to canvass this because they want to get there. Those persons who are canvassing for
is anybody going to stop you from going for campaign?
I listened to, I watched it.
So what stops you from contesting? Even right among the women folk, there are some that will say, hey, what is she going to do there? If you want, they don't think what she's going to do there. They will not even have the list of even vote for you. But if you are, let me put it, if you're enlightened and you think that the women can also be there, don't limit yourself first. Because by the time you limit yourself, you'll be limited by a group of people or by some persons. Now, if you come out to say, I want to contest an election, how I can run it, like this lady in Kogi that appeal court gave her the judgment, affirm her election.
Anita Aboti Uduaga.
She was bold enough to come out and contest. Did anybody limit her? No. So you come out if you're interested in election, come out and contest.
I will have Natasha as being sworn in as a
senator. The first female senator from Kogi.
So what stops others from contesting? If she could be this bold.
And she's a married woman.
Married woman.
She took off as a single lady and she's been on it and today.
Today, But you see, there are certain things like the women will always they limit themselves first before people start to limit.
So can we start having conversation around this? Yeah. The limitation that maybe patriarchy, negative patriarchy, because I've always said patriarchy is a beautiful thing. It's really if you're a female that loves to be taken care of, like myself. You know what I mean? So patriarchy is a beautiful thing. But there is negative patriarchy that over the years has subjugated the female folks.
Yes.
But education and globalization today have actually shown you that you can do this if you follow due process and put yourself to